morning, folks. Ron Ray here with Turning 65 Solutions. And for this morning's video question and answer, we're going to answer a question we get quite often here, and that is, does Medicare cover lab services? And the answer to that is yes, as long as it's medically necessary and it's within the proper time frame for any particular test. The answer is yes. So it's a little bit more complicated than that, though. So we'll talk about it in just a minute. Anything that the doctor orders that is medically necessary is Medicare approved, and Medicare will pay for it. However, here's what you need to know that might get you in trouble if you're not paying attention. Medicare doesn't like to pay for certain tests very often. So they'll put them on a time frame. So let's say, I'm just going to pick one for example, so don't hold me to this. Talk to your lab and your billing people first. But let's say A1C. So that's a test that's very common now for managing diabetes, type 2 diabetes, A1C. So let's say that you go to your doctor in January and they order an A1C test, and that's fine. You get that test and Medicare covered it, no problem. But then you go back to your doctor in February, or maybe you go to another doctor and they order another A1C test, and you go and get that, and all of a sudden now you get a bill. Well, it's because that second test was not covered by Medicare because it hadn't been enough time from the first test to the second test. So an A1C test generally in most normal cases is only going to be covered about every 3 months for the A1C test. Now, that doesn't mean that a doctor can't justify it and say we've had some changes, you've been sick, maybe we need to get Medicare to cover this a second time, but without all those other justifications, Medicare is only going to want to pay for that test about every 3 months. Okay, so bottom line is, whenever you are going to get a test, it is your responsibility to ask if it's covered by Medicare. Okay, it's your responsibility to ask, because once you sign that paper, when you go to your doctor, they have you sign a big stack of papers. One of those forms is a statement that says, if my insurance, i.e. Medicare, doesn't pay, then I'm going to pay for this service. Once you sign that paper, you owe whatever is left over by your insurance. If you don't have a Medicare supplement, or if you have out-of-pocket costs associated with your Medicare Advantage plan, you're going to be responsible for paying those. Now, you're going to be responsible for paying those anyway, but if Medicare declines that particular test, you're going to be responsible for the full cost of it. So be sure and ask. Now, here's another caution. The lab that you work with may not take your Medicare Advantage plan. So your doctor accepts your Medicare Advantage plan, but the lab that they send you to, or the lab that you go to, doesn't accept the same plan. Again, it's your responsibility to ask and make sure before you get the test, because once they provide the services, you're obligated to pay. Okay? And another caution about labs is, just because the lab is physically inside the doctor's office, doesn't mean that they're a part of the same business and they accept the same insurance plans. Okay, so I've seen it many times where there is a lab, an independent laboratory services housed physically in the same office space with the doctor, with the medical provider, but they are separate businesses, they bill separately, and they don't always take the same insurance plan. So your doctor that ordered the test takes your Medicare Advantage plan, HMO, but the lab that's physically housed within the same building does not take your insurance. Again, it's your responsibility to ask these questions. So before that phlebotomist pokes you in the arm, you need to ask that question: do you take my Medicare Advantage plan? Now, if we're talking about original Medicare, they take original Medicare, they're going to take your Medicare supplement. That doesn't matter. So as long as they take original Medicare, they will take your Medicare supplement. But if we're talking about Medicare Advantage plans, it can vary, and it's your duty to ask. Now, this can be confusing. It can certainly be frustrating when you thought you had coverage and all of a sudden you find yourself with a big bill to pay. If you have any questions at all about this, please give us a call here. The number is 830-217-6711. We can actually sit down with you or get on the phone with you on a conference call and call the billing department of the provider that you're working with and get these answers for you. Get them directly from the horse's mouth. Check us out on the web. That's www.t65s.com. Now, we've got a great article on this very topic on our website. I'll put a link to the article in the video description down below. Also, if you enjoyed the information in this video, please give us a thumbs up on the video down below. That helps YouTube get this video out to other people who are searching for the same information that you were. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when we upload another helpful video. So until the next time, we hope you have a great day, folks. Thanks. Bye.